Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to Map Making with me, BonBonB. I'm BonBonB, you're very welcome, and today we're going to be bridging the gap. Somewhat, although we'll be far from finishing bridging the gap. This first particular bridge asset is not even strictly a bridge. It does require the sea level to be amended to make it fit at the right level. So that's what I'm doing right now, and I found a little trick or technique that kind of works for this particular bridge. Took me a little bit of tinkering to find it, and what that was to lower the sea level too far. See, it's too high there, much too high. So what I did was I lowered it, much too low. But then you have got all these guidelines, these lines of terrain to work with, and basically it starts just a little bit too low, and then select the height of the land just a little bit higher, and just a little bit higher again, one or two terrain lines at a time, until you get to a level, and just checking like that, yeah, until you get to a level that you're happy with. Now, quite clearly, the roads don't fit on this bridge. I think you might have noticed that. You've got an eye for detail, I'm pretty sure of that, and you're blowing me away with your eye for detail. You should do a review show, you. Yeah, you're that good. No, they clearly won't fit, but I have got a cunning plan. I have a plan, and it is a cunning one. My name is Baldrick. No, anyway, Baldrick. Anybody a Blackadder fan here? Maybe. Yeah, I never really got. So I'll digress a bit here. Why not? Hey, I've got 15 minutes to warble. Blackadder. I never really got into Blackadder. It's those who don't know what Blackadder is, it's a British comedy. It's a little bit dark, and it's a little bit very British. very British. There are a few actors in there that you may recognise, like, for example, Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean himself. He'd be within it. Stephen Fry. You may be aware of him. Hugh Laurie. He's kind of made it in Hollywood if you're a film buff. But yeah, there've been a whole bunch of classic British actors, comedy actors within. So I was just checking the sea level there, making sure I was happy with the sea level. Yeah, that's why I went over to that little island. Just in case you're wondering why we suddenly went over to Essential Lighthouse Island. So anyway, yeah, I never really got into Blackadder. I'm appreciating it a little bit more these days. It wasn't really my thing, but of course, Baldrick, Tony Robinson's character, so simple. I have a cunning plan, sir. Yes. Anyway, that's where that cunning plan thing came from. In case you're wondering, he must be referring to something. Yeah, I was referring to that. So yeah, I have a cunning plan for this bridge, and you'll see me, what am I doing here? I'm straightening up, and I've selected all the four, well, one of them's overlapping so that it fits, and in a few moments you will see me duplicate the bridge to give it the width that it needs. But I'll put the two roads together first, because there'll be a gap in the bridge. There's lots of tweaking and twiddling going on in today's episode. I'm probably going to pretty much ignore it unless something distracts me and I have to point it out and go, oh, that's what I'm doing there. One thing I will have to do is these causeways on either side. I am definitely going to have to tinker with those. I'm not happy with them at all. I'm going to have to amend the height of them slightly, and possibly the width of them slightly. There's just lots and lots of things that I want to be doing here. Just not happy with it. Just not pokey happy with it. Anyway, yes. Other than that, yes, we'll be putting down. We've got a couple of other bridge units I shall be putting down today. There's this one there. This bridge unit is, I'm trying to remember what it's called. I think it's, I don't know. Paul J. Chris made it anyway. So if you search through Paul J. Chris's work on the workshop, of course, it will be linked to eventually, not in today's episode, just because I ain't got time today. You just have to, you'll have to make do with these moving images. But yes, Paul J. Chris, and I'll be popping down a couple of other bridges and only starting to work on them in today's episode. One of them, I think, this is from memory, I think I went with the Connell Bridge for the middle span of these islands. And then I think I went with the Erasmus Bridge for the final span, with the idea to have them all just various. This is clearly the old part of the link, and I'm probably going to have to yes, I do some detailing because it looks a little bit, the key looks a little bit too modern compared to the actual stonework. So I've got some ideas of what I could do just to sort of like make it feel a little bit more old. This key. We'll get to it. We will work on it. Hey, what else is there to do, eh? So yes. So this one is the old bridge, and then the middle section I figured on like a dropped-in industrial style iron bridge, also quite old as well, but one that wasn't part of a causeway. It was just a bridge that they popped in to get across the middle aisle almost on the cheap, although bridges are not cheap at all. The final span is going to be the glossy, hey look, we've got some money now and we're going to spend some money on a nice bridge to bring you onto the island bridge. And that's why the Erasmus Bridge was chosen. You can see them in the background there. Look away. Don't want to see them just yet. Don't want to spoil the surprise, which I've just done, those of you that know your bridges. So yeah, anyway, the map is slowly coming along. I figured what I wanted to do next, although I do want to go back onto I'm going to call it the mountain, the big hill with the castle on the top. I want to go back and do some work on that castle in one of the upcoming episodes. Just because it's job half done, and I would like it to be finished, and so I can almost turn my back on the mountain. I do want to tweak once again the rock work a little bit on the sides of the hill. It in places it looks a little bit repetitive. So yeah, if I can go back and just tidy the rock work up here in places, and then I'll be pretty much done. Second bridge here. I think this was the Connell Bridge. I'm not entirely certain on this one. This is the bridge I'm least certain about the name, although I can't remember the name of the first bridge at all. so yeah, the first one comes under stone if you search stone, but I can't tell you which one it is off the top of my head. This one was the right width. It wasn't my first choice, but my first choice was the wrong width. It was just too big. And then I'm pretty certain this is the Erasmus Bridge. I wanted that modern feel for that last jaunt over to the island. And yeah, it looks pretty nice, doesn't it, eh? Anyway, we will be putting roads onto these bridges, although we won't be fine-tuning them, and boy, we'll have to come back. I'm probably going to just roughly throw down the roads, because I'm going to have to do a lot of detailing around them. And then once you've detailed them, you might have to tweak the roads, and that'll mean shifting the detailing, and it's juggle one. You do one job, and then you have to do another job. Anyway, these two bridges are actually bridges, which is nice because it just means that we can pop them down and they float on the water quite right too. And here's me failing badly to select all the nodes and push them together. Look at that. It took me how many goes? Oh yeah. Hey, I'm human too, apparently. Last time I checked, looked in the mirror. Yeah, not green skinned, not amphibious. I'm a phibia, but not a amphibian. Okay, where were we? Yes. So it's coming together in terms of things that I want to put into the map. I'm going to say the bridge link was one of the big things. This is one of the big things that I want to get onto the map. There is one, if I remember rightly, one more thing. Is there one more thing? Obviously I want to put a rail connection and just along the mainland. It won't be coming across to the island at all. I'm sure there was just one more thing, one more set piece that I want to put in, because we've got, there was the lighthouse island, which I wanted sort of like, I did that first because it was what I was most excited about. So the lighthouse island, there was the obviously the castle on the hill, done that. The harbour, still not entirely happy with the harbour. I might go back and completely revamp it. I'm not super pleased with it. It's not what I envisioned. You know, you have a vision, yeah, and that is not come out how I envisioned. So I might go back and completely redo that. Then there was obviously the bridges coming across. There's going to be a tunnel involved and so forth. The Half Moon Island was going to have that little lake in it, which we have done. I'm quite happy with that. I'm pretty sure there's going to be no more work done to the lake, although I might go back and just tart up the foliage a little bit on the island, but of course I'll be doing that all over the map anyway. And then there's one more set piece, and that is I'm not going to tell you actually. I think it'd be fun not to tell you. It's one of the things when I decided this was going to be a tidal map that I decided I would like to do. Now, one thing that I'm going to be doing once I'm happy with the land masses is basically drain all the water away and work on the seabed, because I want the seabed to look in a way that I'm happy with. The tide is going to go quite a long way out on this map. That's the intention anyway, if I can get this to work. And so there's going to be vast spans of seabed that will become visible. And it's going to take a little bit of work to make sure that we get it just about right. I want it to... there's going to be rivers that are visible once the tide goes out. I hope. I hope. I don't know whether the physics are going to let me do all this. Of course, the worst case scenario is it doesn't become a tides map and it's just a map. It's not going to make that much difference. Although my final feature, the one that I want to put in last, that kind of relies on the tides. It will be a lot more applicable. Listen, I don't want to put a word in there that's going to give it away. It'll be applicable. I'm going with applicable. A lot more applicable to the map if there is a tide. If there's no tide, then it could still work. It might just look a little bit silly, maybe. Like, oh look, BonBon's messed up. Look, that's wrong, isn't it? No, it's intended. Everything is by intention, even the mistakes. Of course. Right, so anyway, we are popping roads together here to go onto the Erasmus Bridge. This is a point where I've looked at the clock going, oh god, I've got to edit and voice over this, and I have enough time. I better hurry up and get this bridge, just get a road under this bridge, plus half an hour is plenty of time. Yeah, I wish I could sit down for 2 or 3 hours and just really rock on with this. But it'd be completely unwatchable for you guys unless you wanted, what's that? 3 hours is like an hour and a half show at double speed. I mean, even a quadruple speed is 45 minutes. And you really don't want to sit and watch me for 45 minutes. I wouldn't be able to talk on for 45 minutes anyway about just random bits of prop placing. And look, I've got a bit of bridge missing. Well, we'll fill that in before the end of the show. Let's find this section and copy and paste it in. How did that happen? I do not know. That's very strange. That's obviously by design. As I said, everything is by intention, and I obviously intended to do that. Anyway, so if we can get that to match up, and that'll be very nicely done indeed. Very nice little bridge unit here by Paul J. Chris. I wasn't entirely sure that this was going to work. My first choice was by Merrickstowe, but the bridge unit that I wanted just didn't look right when surrounded by water. Sadly, that was just my opinion on it anyway. So there we go. This is the Causeway Bridge. Still got to do a lot of work to the causeway. Lots coming. Hopefully, there'll be an episode on Wednesday. I should find time to do it. I hope I'll find time to do it, and then it'll be more of the same. Anyway, thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. You are the BonBonB Elite. I love you all very much, and I'll see you very, very soon.